Today, in Northumberland, the most striking physical feature of the land is the great footprint left upon it by Canada's last period of glaciation. It was only 10,000 years ago when Northumberland and most of the rest of Canada was covered by a great ice sheet. That ice was over 2 kilometers thick. As this last great ice sheet retreated, the melting ice left a lasting mark. It carried megatons of sand and gravel in gushing streams that began to run under the ice as the climate warmed. These glacial rivers deposited their baggage in great lumps and ridges on the reappearing land, as well as cutting new valleys through the rubble. These ridges are relatively uniform. Here their elevation has been mathematically enhanced for clarity. The drumlin lumps are more randomly distributed. The biggest and most prominent of these glacial deposits is known today as the Oak Ridges Moraine. This striking landform runs right through the heart of our county. By 9,000 years ago, the ice sheets had retreated far to the north. Small hardy plants now began to green the newly exposed landforms. Birds also returned to the area. Geese were flying over the numerous lakes and ponds. They began to leave their footprints in the mud. Ducks were finding welcome wetlands and streams to nest on. Turkeys walked the bush as well. And there were small mammals everywhere. The young forests and swamps were full of frogs, snails, spiders, squirrels, mice, and lizards. These creatures began to enjoy life in this area, and of course they left their footprints. Beavers began to harvest trees for their bark and to use the wood for their dams. And as soon as the forest grew thick and tall, larger animals like moose arrived to find their homes here too. Bear walked the woods. Deer were plentiful. There were insects everywhere. The land was vibrant and lush. All these animals attracted native hunters. They now began to comb the land in search of plants, animals, and fish for food. And soon they began to settle down and build homes for themselves. These first Canadians have left many traces of their earlier living sites, which archaeologists are busy rediscovering today. And then, of course, came the Europeans. These relatively late settlers were much harder on the land and on its wildlife. With years of labor, the Europeans began to cut down vast swaths of forest and then burn huge fields of debris. This was the start of farming in this area. On its heels came dams for local streams, creating the power needed to run grist mills. The new settlers also built roads, settlements, and merchant towns. Two famous pioneer authors in particular settled in this area. They are Susanna Moodie and Catherine Parr Traill. These women, who were sisters, left us many books and essays describing life here in this pioneer period. The first great footprint on Northumberland we can call the paw of the great Wisconsin Glacier. That was followed by the paws and footprints of so many more, the many living creatures who have enjoyed this land before us. The vision of the Northumberland Land Trust is to preserve, value, and share this amazing heritage with all who wish to learn about it. We do this by fostering and supporting a variety of projects, each of which tries to build appreciation of the beautiful lands of Northumberland and of its many surviving natural treasures. We invite you to share with us the vast reach of these heritage footprints. We even invite you to add very light footsteps of your own as you help us learn about and share this great corner of the earth with others. Northumberland deserves both appreciation and caring protection. This is best done by building interest in and a greater knowledge of our natural heritage. Once you walk these enchanting lands, you will come to love and understand them more and more. We invite you to join the Land Trust in celebrating our natural endowment. Help us to preserve this unique wealth for generations to come.